Hello and welcome to today's webcast from Simova. Previously, we have focused in our webcast on our individual extension solutions. And now, today, we will focus on an overall process in which the extensions DMS, EDS, DPS, and CTI accelerate business processes by working together. For those who don't know us, my name is Max, and I am responsible for the marketing, sales, and partner management on Simova's side. And I've been with Simova for over 2 years now, and I am today's moderator. The live presentation will be shown by my colleague Kevin. He's our product manager. So briefly on the agenda, what products are we about to see in this overall process? We will see the telephony integration CTI for direct access to CRM data as soon as a customer calls. We will have a look at the document management DMS for a direct access to relevant documents, and we will also see the EDS solution to simplify or even automate the dispatch processes of documents from the system. And last but not least, we will see the digital portal solution, DPS, for a targeted access to specific data from Business Central. If you have any questions during the webcast, just save it for the question and feedback session at the end of the webcast, or just write it in the chat and we will have a look at it at the end of the webcast. With that, I want to give the word to my colleague Kevin for the live presentation.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Max. And also warm welcome, of course, from my side. So let's jump right into a live demonstration. I've prepared a Business Central demo environment for a Kronos company, which sells bikes basically. And there the 4 apps which have been mentioned previously have been integrated. And the big focus on all those apps is, of course, being fully integrated within the system so that you don't have to leave it to work on another platform or something like this. So let's jump right into Business Central. And what I want to start with is a process that any customer, probably you yourselves, know, and it's telephony. You will always get calls from either business partners or contacts, customers, or whatever it is. And for that, we have made a solution which is basically for presenting you with the right information as soon as a call comes in. What I will do now is I will simulate a call from my PC. Please don't wonder why the number does not look like an actual number, but we've assigned that number to a customer or a contact within our system. And as soon as we call, so let me minimize everything, we see this page here opening. And this is the CTI caller card. And as I see right now, for some reason, it did not detect the correct customer. So let me just simply restart the solution. Because sometimes with the CDX environments, you lose the connection to the web service. So I restarted it. And as you see now, as soon as I call, I immediately get presented with information from the system itself. So this is no second database or something like this. This is immediately from Business Central, from my contact card, and I can even retrieve, if there is a customer behind the contact or a vendor, I can retrieve additional information to that. So here I can already have a very professional approach to the call because I can greet Jacob Otto with his name. I know what company he's from, and I can retrieve additional information. And as soon as I accept the call, something else happens. And this is a caller card, or what opens now is a caller card within Business Central. This card has been specifically made to, retrieve additional information during a call. So now it loaded. And as we see here, we see that Jacob Otto has called. We have some basic information about the call. We can make notes and comments, which will later on get saved so that I can retrieve them in my system. We can, if I minimize this, we can, within Business Central, without leaving to my telephone system, application, whatever, we can control the call. So we do not have to leave the solution. And then there's a part which, from my perspective, is also the big magic of CTI, and it's the option to dive into filtered areas for this specific customer or vendor. In my case, this is just a customer. So we get presented, for example, with open quotes, orders, outstanding invoices, and so on. So if there's a question from the customer, in this case, the customer asks, okay, I sent you an email to adjust a certain quote. Why did I not receive that yet? So we can just jump into the list of open offers, and I see this is the latest one. So during our call, without having to navigate anywhere myself, ask for a quote number or something like this, I can be very professional and say, okay, I've opened your quote here. Is it this one? And in this case, this is a sales quote. And we see there's one speedy bike. And he says, okay, I've written you an email to adjust the quantity from 1 to 3, and then send out the quote again. And I can immediately retrieve that information within the DMS solution. So on the right side here, you've seen the fact box of the DMS, and I can jump into the DMS and then retrieve information which has been stored here by other users. And in this case, we see that there has been an email from Jacob Otto asking to adjust the amount of the speedy bikes in the Crow 3. For some reason, it has not been sent out by the sales team. So what I will do is I will give that information to the sales team in the notes. I will say, please adjust the amount to 3S. Discussed per mail. This is an information we now can give our whole team. I've done that now, so I can, within my system, close the call. So the connection is now closed, and leave the rest to the sales team. Now we switch positions. What we can do now is, as the sales team, we can either move into the context. I will go over the quote directly. And within the quote, either in my DMS, I can retrieve the information about the amount needing to be adjusted to 3, or I can jump in the contact. So I can also go over the contact lists. I can be informed in case of interaction log entries. And while I'm talking about this, CTI has made an interaction log entry here on this side. And we see there has been a comment also that the amount has to be adjusted now to 3. I will do that next. I will update here the amount to 3. And now I will, of course, have to take care of sending out this document to the customer, in this case to Jacob Otto. And what I will use here is another solution. We've looked at 2 solutions, CTI and DMS, and the third one is the EDS solution. And EDS is a solution for sending out documents in any type of way, in any process that you need to. Um, and it can be very flexible on how to send out documents. But I will show you just to explain what it does exactly. I will show a way which the standard can handle a little bit itself, which is adjusting an email before sending it out with the respective document. So I clicked on dialog sending here. It generates my report and will now put it into a certain dialog window, which we'll see in a second here, where we can adjust the email. If we want, we see our email template, which we can configure within Business Central. We don't have to upload a Word template or anything like this. We can write this email template within our system ourselves, and we can define the placeholders and so on, which attachments are supposed to be made for this quote. In this case, it's only the quote, but we can adjust anything that we like, even DMS documents and so on. And I can now, within this dialog window, adjust this, and I will even write adjust it because we adjusted the quote. For quotes, sometimes you want to write something personal or something like this. And I will send it out now as an adjusted email. And and then we will dive right into this area here where we see, okay, this has now been sent out one time. So we don't just have, okay, the number of printed has gone up once. No, we can retrieve even more information on the sending. We know EDS has been active, and there we can take a look at how it has been sent out, to which email address exactly, by which user, the placeholders, the exact time. And we have this information in a general queue, which we can take a look over, but we also have it on the respective document, which we have sent out, in this case, this quote. So anyone who goes here has the information on what documents have been stored in the DMS, and for the EDS solution, what exactly has been sent out. So we always have a complete overview. Next up, we now imagine, okay, this quote has been accepted. We even have an email here by my colleague sent it to me, but it is supposed to be Jacob Otto, who ordered this, who orders now this quote, which we have just sent out. And I want to show you how to store that information for everyone, because the previous email has been stored as well. So what I will do is I will drag and drop the email onto this box from my Outlook client, and it will open now a document definition page. I can define here myself what I am storing. In this case, this is correspondence. We have additional data given to the document, which we can later on use for example, for searching the document. In this case, we classify it even more. And now we see that there are two correspondences dropped. And the system even took care of, after sending out the document via EDS, it stored the quote automatically within my Dropbox on this process. So I don't have to take care of archiving documents from my system myself. Next up, we have, of course, we got the order. So I make a sales order within my system. And here we have now a full process integration of the DMS. So what do I mean by that? If we open the newly created order, on the right side, we immediately see that the correspondences from the quote, but also the sales quote itself, are displayed here. And this is the full process integration, which is a huge benefit of the DMS. You don't have to, as the person who's maybe now taking care of this order itself, he does not have to retrieve some document in some Explorer files or on OneDrive, wherever. You have to you can retrieve that information immediately on the order within Business Central, and this gets pushed up until the last process step. So from the quoting step, or the sales quote, over the order up until the posted invoice, the posted sales invoice. In the end, you have all documents within the last process shown to every coworker who goes there, and he or she can retrieve any information there. This is also not only for the sales side, also for the for the purchasing side, or any process which you want to extend on your own, where documents have to be passed on to the next process step. So now we want to send out the order confirmation. We can either do that again by dialog. I will now use only one click, and it will generate different attachments which I need, put them together into one email, and send it out. So the system also supports me in searching out the right files to send out, attaching maybe DMS documents or something of this sort. And now everyone knows, okay, the order confirmation has been sent out. Of course, if I send out the same type of order confirmation every time, I would want to automate this. We have left that out in this step, but we have put that into the invoice sending process. So it can be activated for when an order gets created, the order confirmation automatically gets sent out, but I wanted to present you this one-click way. When we look at the invoice itself, so I post this order now, we imagine it has been fully delivered, everything is finished here, so I can send out my invoice. And when doing this process, the system now detects, okay, this customer has been activated for this type of invoice sending. So what happens now, if we move to the posted invoice, is that if we take a look at the right side, that one entry is on pending, which means it has not been sent out yet. It is being processed now by a job queue which runs anytime you want. So if you want to send out your invoices in the evening or only on Fridays, then this can be configured. So we had customers doing that, so that they have the opportunity to check the invoices before they are being sent out. But I've set this to once per minute. So if I hit F5, you see it has been set to send, and now it has been sent out to the customer. So now with EDS, we've sent out all documents, but if we look back to the DMS, we see, okay, there's not only the correspondence or the quote, which has been automatically stored before, but we also have the order confirmation and the invoice. So DMS completely took away the need for me to store documents myself in any type of way, because everything we have created from the system has now been stored in the DMS, and it doesn't have anything to do with the EDS. It's just the DMS on its own detects if a report is being generated and will store it automatically. So I, as a coworker, don't have to worry about archiving documents anymore at all if I don't want to store to attach manual documents. So now within Business Central, we have a, from my perspective, very round process. So we have first the call coming in. We can immediately jump into the respective processes, have a very professional appearance just by being able to answer with the name. Then afterwards, we have sent out the documents with the EDS solution. We can fully automate that process so that the sending gets done by the system itself as well. And in the end, all the documents which we have handled are stored in the DMS without me having to do much. There's still one thing we had to do, which is, yeah, making the system send out documents, for example, or needing to answer a call from a customer to give information about the quote or about anything that is customer related in that case. We can even spare that by using, for example, a portal solution. And for that, we have the so-called DPS, the last solution I want to briefly present for now. I just want to quickly jump into the portal. So we are now in the position of the end customer, in this case, Jacob Otto, who moves into the portal. And for that, no, this is the wrong link. This is the right one. We have configured a demo portal. So this is provided by Kronos and has been also configured completely within Business Central, but we'll take a look at that. I will log in with demo data. And as you see here, a portal loads, which presents me with information which comes directly from the system. So everything we see here has been configured within Business Central. We don't need any additional area where we need to configure what exactly we show here. And all the data also comes from Business Central. And also, as you see here on top, we can, if we want to, give Christmas wishes to the customer. We just uploaded a picture within Business Central and it immediately gets presented here. Yeah, so what I want to do now as an end customer is maybe retrieve invoice information or order dates. And I can just do that as we see here. There are some in April, which is just the dates from the orders itself, or the delivery dates from the orders itself within Business Central, with a Twitter widget here. And in my case, I want to jump into the invoices, which I do now. I sort it to the last one. And I see if I download my invoice, which I can now do here without needing to contact Kronos, I see my invoice with the 3 bikes, which I already received. So here I have the way to self-manage a little bit my processes as an end customer, and also start processes, for example. So if I go to the items, I can order an item. We have a basket system. If I click on order, the information will be pushed straight to Business Central, where I can then create my order with the respective item if I am a coworker of Kronos. So I put a whole bunch of management services which I would have to do myself. I just give the customer to the opportunity with the portal to manage it themselves. And as I said, anything that is shown here on the portal can be freely configured. so that I can also, if I have an industry solution or something like this, or very individual processes, I can define how my portal looks, what it presents, and what actions I can do over it. So that is it today. That is the whole process which we've shown. And we've seen that this sales process we've done has been greatly enhanced. I, as a Cronus company, do not have to do much, because if I use the portal, there's a huge management load which the customer can do himself. But also inside of the system, if it's about receiving calls or managing or sending out documents, the system supports me so that I do not have to do a lot myself. So we've now seen the four solutions, and I will give the word back to Max. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin, for the live presentation. We will now come to the question and feedback session. Let's see if there are any questions regarding the 4 solutions we have just seen. Let's give a little space to write it in the chat. There seems to be none from the audience. I have prepared a question myself, so we don't go fully empty here. My question is, I'm not sure if you have talked about an audit-proof way of storing the documents. And
Okay.
is there a way, to store my documents audit-proof with a DMS from Simova?
Yes, sure. We have different backend functionalities for the storage of documents with the DMS. One is still close to being released, but we already have the SharePoint solution. So in the backend, the user will not have to take any look at the SharePoint solution, but this is in the end where the documents are stored. They are just retrieved from the system and stored from the system, so the user does not have to do it outside of the system. And the SharePoint has standard functionalities for audit-proof storage. So you give the certain document types, you give them the information on how long they are supposed to be stored in an audit-proof way so that they cannot be adjusted or deleted in any way until that point of time has been reached, which is usually 10 to 12 years, depending on the country.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for the answer on this question. With that, I want to thank you for taking the time to have a look at our solutions here. And as Kevin already said in the beginning, we have some deep dive webcasts on various topics coming up. So if you are interested, feel free to have a look at them on our website. And if you want to participate, just register and have a deeper look into our solutions. With that, I want to wish you a nice day and say goodbye. See you next time.
Goodbye. Thank you.